Hi, I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and I feel giddy about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
I like that. I like giddy. I'll take that.
That's nice.
That's very nice. Some people can get very mean, and I know that you're not going to do that, Christina. I know you're not.
Damn it. I was going to say I feel really stupid being Conan O'Brien's friend. I won't. So I will change mine, the nicer part of me.
No, be you.
Go for it. Be you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christina Applegate, and I feel awesome to be Conan O'Brien's friend.
And you know what?
Cone bone.
I'm gonna
Cone
say
bone.
Cone bone.
Never stuck.
It did. My wife calls me Cone bone.
No, because Tom Hanks came around and did coo.
Oh, yeah.
Coo.
Yeah, he
and then
did.
that became your thing.
That
I was
became-
trying to make Cone bone happen. But
I'm
that's
kind of
okay.
glad Coco won, frankly.
Okay.
I'm really
It's never
happy.
too late.
That can still happen.
Yeah. I was going to start by, first of all, thanking both of you for being here. And I have very distinct memories of both of you. I'm at that age now where I get very sentimental and I look back over, I don't know, just things that I've done in the past, people I've met. Christina, I remember very clearly you being such a wonderful friend to me on the show. You came on the show so many times and you were always so funny and great and miraculous. And I think you might hold some record for coming on the show.
I think I might.
You
but
might.
It was like my favorite thing anytime I got a call saying, hey, even like you sometimes would have like a guest like fall out or something. They'd be like, will you come in? I'm like, absolutely. I would love nothing more. I really you were my favorite interviewer ever. I had so much fun there.
That's sweet of you. And
always.
It helped that you lived in an apartment right above our studio in Rockefeller
Yes.
Center. She lived
You
in
can call it an apartment. I was outside the bathroom.
Actually, it was a cleaning closet.
It was a cleaning closet.
And there was a cot. and
Let's
people
be
were
real,
like,
Conan.
I can't believe Christina Applegate lives.
And you guys charged me rent.
It wasn't a lot of rent, but I just, I wanted to start by thanking you from the bottom of my heart for just always being just this light, always such a great guest, always so fantastic. And my memory, I have such a very clear memory, Jamie-Lynn. I remembered when The Sopranos first came out and had been on for, I think it was one season. It was the new thing. Everyone was talking about it. And it's nominated for all these Emmys. And we're nominated too. We're in New York. I get on my American Airlines flight and I sit in this American Airlines flight and then the person sits down next to me and it's James Gandolfini, who I'd never met. And we talked the whole way. And he was just talking about I don't know what this is. He had such a, what is this? We're going to an award show. And I went, yeah, you're on the biggest show on television, Jim, and you're the star of it. Anyway, he talked about act. We just had a lovely time.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool.
And my memory is they put me up at this hotel. I think it was the Four Seasons Hotel. And I walk out at one point and you're standing there with your co-star, Robert Eiler, and you're just both standing there and you're kids. I mean, how old would you have been?
17.
Yeah. You're kids. And you were standing there right outside where the cars pick people up and you just both looked like you had been beamed to Mars. You're here at the Emmys. And I chatted with you guys for a second and remembered having this weird look at, this crazy ride is just starting for you. And I'm getting a sneak peek. And I remembered you just seeming like, I think she's going to be good. She seems like such a grounded, nice kid. I think you're going to be okay.
That's so nice to say. Well, I can tell you, meeting you was that. I probably looked like I had just been beamed to Mars because that's how we felt seeing you. That's how we always felt seeing people that we admired. And Christina and I have talked about that you were our favorite show to do
nice.
Because you just you set us up.
When we're talking to you, but when we're talking to Jimmy Kimmel, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, we were lying to Jimmy.
Yeah. I had dinner with.
But I have a distinct memory because my brothers and I bonded over your show.
Right.
Like
right.
the bits in your show, we would talk about it all the time. And the first time I did your show, I was able to get my oldest brother, Adam, in the front row there. And that was like, it's one of those like I made it moments that you're able to share with the people that were there with you. So that was one of those.
Well,
for
it's
me.
nice for me. It's so funny. I don't know if it's the Irish in me or whatever, but I get very nostalgic for all of us floating along on this journey. And then I see these people along the way. And so to get to check in with both of you is very nice. I mean, yes, this is a podcast and we're doing this and there's going to be an ad or something, but I don't fucking care about that. I feel like I'm talking to you guys. I'm checking in. Both of you have been through so much and you're doing a beautiful thing, which is you're sharing it, you're talking about it very frankly. You have your own podcast, MeSy, and it's all about MS, which you're both dealing with, and everything that happens. And I know that you're helping a lot of people, but the strange thing I've found about doing a podcast, and I'm struggling with just inherent craziness, but not MS. But what I have found is that it's healing for me to talk to people. And I'm imagine there's a component of doing this podcast where both of you are maybe doing some healing for yourselves about having this problem, that you're being able to talk about it openly in this forum is probably helpful to you.
Well, absolutely, 100%. I mean, that's how this all came about, was when I came out with my diagnosis in 2021, our friend Lance said, you got to talk to Jamie, because I'm sure you feel like you're on an island and you don't understand what's happening, and that's the person to talk to. And I had met Jamie a few times over the years, and it was like we got on the phone and we were on the phone for hours, and I felt like so less alone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get teary when I talk about my James, but
yeah,
it healed me in that moment, and that's how this happened. It was like we're talking about so much information and so much stuff that so many people newly diagnosed, or even people who have been diagnosed for years, might not know about, or want to say the things that we say, like the brutal honesty about how painful it can be, how lonely it can feel, how awful it is. And then, that's only coming from my mouth because I'm negative Nelly. And then Jamie will be like, but let's breathe, and I love you, Jamie. No, she gets pissed off about it too.
She's
not wrong.
Here's the interesting thing is it's not that one way to go is wrong and one is right. They're both.
No. I was totally kidding. By the way. It's like we have helped each other in the sense that I get to see a different side to all of this because of her.
Yep.
And she gets to be honest about how she feels sometimes in ways that you didn't, right? I don't want to speak for you, but that's...
Jamie-Lynn, you got diagnosed much earlier than even I knew. I was familiar with your diagnosis, but then I was shocked to find out that you got your diagnosis when you were on The Sopranos. You were also working on Broadway at the time. And I just assumed that this came, 10 years later because you didn't talk about it. You were afraid to talk about it because you thought you could get fired. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of reasons. I think the initial, drive to keep it a secret and protect me was the fear of being fired, the fear of not being hireable, the fear of what people would think about this and me with this. I also think it allowed me to live in a state of denial for some time, because if I didn't talk about it with anybody, then maybe it wasn't real. But then, over the years, as the disease started to manifest into what it would be for me physically, and I started to have to make up excuses and lies, it was really difficult. And as much as I could regret that choice, I think it's really informed a lot about me and my life. And, now what's so beautiful, with MeSy and having Christina and what I've learned about myself through this process is, when you find community and when you talk to somebody else, you can almost witness yourself a little bit, and you can kind of take a step back and really acknowledge what you're going through and acknowledge that it's hard and that it sucks and that it can be unfair and all of those things, but also really see the catalyst of it being the catalyst for a lot of growth and self-reflection. And, I've lived with the disease for almost 24 years now. I was diagnosed when I was 20. And so I'm finding my way through and finding sort of the purpose from this pain. And I feel like, that's all you can do with situations like this. And MeSy is really what's propelled me into that, like, way of thinking now.